The night was colder than anyone had expected. Wind cut through the city streets, carrying the sharp promise of snow, and people hurried past the bus stop with their heads down, coats pulled tight, pretending not to notice the woman standing alone beneath the flickering streetlight. She looked small against the dark, mid-20s, thin jacket, arms wrapped around herself as if trying to disappear. Her name was Emma, and she had nowhere else to go. Across the street, Daniel slowed his steps. He was 34, a single father, exhausted after a long shift at the warehouse. His shoulders ached, his boots were soaked, and his thoughts were fixed on getting home to check on his sleeping daughter. Then he saw her shiver. Not the polite kind of shiver people fake when it's chilly, but the deep, involuntary kind that comes from real cold and deeper fear. He hesitated. Life had taught him that stopping for strangers often came with consequences. He'd learned that lesson the hard way after his wife died and he was left to raise a 5-year-old on his own. Still, something about the way Emma stared down the road, hope draining from her eyes with every passing minute, made him turn back. "Hey," he said gently, keeping his distance. "Are you okay?" She looked up, startled, instinctively stepping back. "I'm fine," she said too quickly. "Just waiting for the bus." Daniel glanced at the empty road and the broken digital sign overhead. No buses were coming. Not tonight. Without another word, he shrugged off his jacket and held it out. "Here, it's warmer than it looks." Emma stared at it as if it were something dangerous. "I can't take that." "You can," he said simply. "I insist." Her hands trembled as she accepted it. The jacket swallowed her frame, but warmth flooded her shoulders, and tears immediately filled her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered, voice breaking. "You don't know how much this helps." They stood there in silence for a moment, the city humming around them. Eventually, she spoke again, the words spilling out as if she'd been holding them back for days. She told him about losing her job after her mother fell sick. About hospital bills that swallowed her savings. About the landlord who gave her 3 days to leave. Tonight was the 3rd day. She had packed everything she owned into a single bag and walked until her feet hurt, not knowing where to go next. Daniel listened without interrupting. He understood desperation. He had felt it kneeling beside a hospital bed years ago, praying for a miracle that never came. "My daughter and I lived in my car for 2 weeks once," he said quietly. "I promised myself I'd never forget what that felt like. The bus never came. Snow began to fall, light at first, then heavier. Emma's teeth chattered even with the jacket, and Daniel made a decision that would change both their lives. "I can't leave you out here," he said. "There's a 24-hour diner a few blocks away. We can warm up, get some food. No expectations. Just human decency." She hesitated, fear battling exhaustion, but finally nodded. Inside the diner, warmth and the smell of coffee wrapped around them. Daniel ordered soup and bread, sliding the bowl toward Emma before she could protest. She ate slowly at first, then faster, like someone afraid the food might vanish. As they talked, Daniel learned Emma wasn't weak, she was worn down. She had dreams once. College, a career in art. Life had simply hit her harder than most. When the waitress brought the check, Emma reached for her bag. Daniel gently pushed it away. "Tonight's on me," she protested, then cried, then laughed softly through the tears. It was the first time she'd done either in days. Before they left, Daniel made a phone call. An old friend ran a small community shelter, a place that helped people get back on their feet, not just survive. There was one bed left. When he told Emma, she covered her mouth, unable to speak. "Why are you doing this?" she finally asked. Daniel looked at his empty shoulders where his jacket had been. "Because someone once helped me when I didn't deserve it," he said. "And it saved my daughter's life." Outside, snow covered the city in quiet white. Daniel walked Emma to the shelter door, handing her his jacket again. "Keep it," he said. "I've got another at home." She hugged him, tight, grateful, unforgettable. "I won't forget this," she said. "I promise." Months later, Daniel would see her again, standing tall, warm, smiling, a new job and a future unfolding. And every winter after that, he would remember the night he chose kindness over caution. Because sometimes, all it takes to change a life is a jacket, and the courage to stop walking past someone who needs help.